Today's talk is on the life of a very fantastic, magnificent, I don't know, जिन्ने भी इसी लफ्ज़ कहिए उन्ने ही थोड़े आ संत अतर सिंह जी महाराज मस्तवाने वाले. So I'm going to use different words in the respect of Sant ji. So as we use words for Guru Maharaj, we say the word Maharaj. The word Maharaj means king. And the Sangat that would see Sant Atar Singh Ji would see Sant Atar Singh Ji as someone that is very respectful, not like a general person, but someone that's come to this world for a reason. And in this presentation, we're going to go through the life of Sant Atar Singh Ji and look at what it was like before Sant Atar Singh Ji, and then what struggles Sant Atar Singh Ji had, and what difference Sant Atar Singh Ji made to the Sikh Panth. So go on to the next slide. So Sant Atar Singh Ji, they were born in the 1800s, and before Sant Atar Singh Ji Maharaj, events that happened in the Sikh history. So we got Chota Kallukara, Vadda Kallukara, the Sikh Miso period, Maharaja Ranjit Singh's period, and then after that when the British came to India, and then how India changed and what was that for the Sikh. So the Chota Kallukara and the Vadda Kallukara means massacre. When Sikh were seen as people that need to be completely wiped out, the government of that time, mainly the Muslim Sarkar, they saw that the Sikh are a threat to them, so they started to kill as many Sikh as possible. So obviously it started from the Mughal period and it carried on. And at that time, the Chota Kallukara, about 10,000 Sikh were killed, and the Vadda Kallukara, the number is not sure, but they say up to about 50,000 Sikh were killed. If you go to India, Koparahira, places like that they stand in remembrance of where the Vadda Kallukara happened. And then after that, the Sikh Miso period was a period where the Sikh were coming together to make the Jathebandiyan, to make these different people came together, and they tried their best to make the Sikh Panth into somewhat that they had their own authority, severity. But because there was a lot of, they weren't on one page, it didn't work out as best. But from the Sikh Miso period came Maharaja Ranjit Singh. And Maharaja Ranjit Singh was is the best Maharaja that the Sikh Panth had. And Maharaja Ranjit Singh's empire, we know that it stretched all the way from, if you look at Punjab now, that's just a fraction of what the Punjab that Maharaja Ranjit Singh made. And then after that, because of the British coming to India and wanting to infiltrate, come through Punjab, even though it was one of the last territories that the British could take over, they came in, and we all know what happened to Maharaja Dalip Singh and all of that. And this is what happened. And the numbers of the Sikh, the population of Sikh, they say that during Maharaja Ranjit Singh's time, the Sikh population was 1 crore. But after Maharaja Ranjit Singh's time, that population dwindled and it went down. If you go to the next slide, please. So the threats to the Sikh Panth, what was it like just before Sant Atar Singh Ji came to this world? So that population that I just said of 1 crore went down all the way to 8 lakh, so 8 million. And that's a significant decrease of numbers of Sikh all at one time in just short period. Christian missionaries, because the British came to India, and obviously the British religion was Christianity, and so they brought with them these missionaries. And what did the missionaries do? They tried to convert as many people as they could. It was very hard first because we know in India they had a caste system. And in this caste system, the higher castes, they didn't take to being converted to Christianity. It was more so the lower caste. But at one time, they tried their best, and Sikh missionaries places came about in Jalandhar, in Rawalpindi, in Lahore, in Amritsar, these main cities. And because of these Christian missionaries centers being placed, they could then now, because they started the publication of literature. Sikh literature wasn't published in as it is now. It was the Christians that first brought the press to India, into Punjab, to publish their own literature. And then what they do, they go out, as Sikh Christian missionaries you see today, they knock on your door, don't they, to give you the Bible. They did the same. And they tried their best, and they succeeded in making low caste first, and then slowly, people were converting to Christianity. You can see this is a place, it's a very bad, it's a pixelated photo, but this is Harmandir Sahib around there. And that's a church that came about around Harmandir Sahib. Now, obviously, it's not there now. It was demolished. But that was made by the Christians. There was a story that even there was a lady that would there was a bungalow, there was a house that they made around Harmandir Sahib, and she would throw. Oh, sorry, did I just touch that? Did I mismake that? We'll get that on. I'll just push that in. Put it back in. Yeah. This lady, what she would do is throw. She would have a jutti, a shoe, and she would throw it into Harmandir Sahib, the parkarma, and then she'll get a dog to go and pick up the jutti from the parkarma and bring it back. And she will show that we've got a lot of powers, and showing that first is the biadabi. The word biadabi means making something, doing something bad. Biadabi of Harmandir Sahib, and showing that this is nothing but my jutti can be thrown into Harmandir Sahib. And this is what was happening around Harmandir Sahib. There were Hindu influences in happening inside the Gurdwara Sahib. So Murti, when you go to the Hindu temple, you'll have these murtiyan placed. They would bring these murtiyan inside the Gurdwara Sahib and start praying. And we know that Jugo Juga Tal, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, nothing can be placed on the same level or in the same area where Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji is. And things like that would happen inside the Gurdwara Sahib. We know that Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj's lineage is a Bedi lineage. The Sodhi lineage is from Guru Ram Das Ji Maharaj all the way to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. These people, even though they were from the same family as Guru Nanak and Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, they had somewhat hankar, ego, that they are in the family of the Guru. And so what they would do is give Amrit themselves. So there's a story where they would put their feet in some water and say, drink this Amrit. Even though not all the Bediyan, not all the Sodhis, but there were some that were doing that. Mahant, so we know that there were Mahant in the Gurdwara, Pujari in the Gurdwara. These are different names of people that took control of the Gurdwara, but not actually doing what they needed to do, but by basically they were taking care of the Gurdwara in the right way. And Arya Samaj is basically a fraction of the Hindu. There's a movement that came about for the Arya Samaj, and that what they did was they attacked the Sikh Panth. And what they were trying to do, they said that Gurmukhi is obviously from the Guru. Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj gave us, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj gave us the Gurmukhi script, and it was formalized by Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. The goal that we need to take away this Gurmukhi script. And at some point during Sant Administering Ji Maharaj's life, there was a time in Jalandhar where there was a child, and his gaze was cut, and then they put it on a stick and took it inside the galiya in the share, and they were showing that, we've cut a Sikh's case, saying basically they wanted to cut away the Gurmukhi script, the case, the identity that the Sikh Panth had. And these were attacks that were happening. This is just in a nutshell. There's much more you can read, you can delve into what was happening before Sant Administering Ji came to this world. Thank you. So Sant Atar Singh Ji Maharaj, if you look at their life and their start of their life, obviously they were born in a family. Their mother, Mata Bholi Ji, Sangrur, I'm sure some of you would know in Sangrur area, it's near Patiala, down the bottom of Punjab, what it is now. And this place in Jimma, Sant Atar Singh Ji Maharaj came in a family of a Jat family. So a Jat family is basically the one that would do kheti wadi. And so they predominantly, even though they were in Jat family, themselves, they never did kheti wadi themselves, because their mission wasn't to do Jed Sudi Ik in 1923 Bikrmi. So Bikrmi is 57 years after our. So if you look at 1866 plus 57, you'll get to 1923. That's how the dates change. Okay, so next slide. So the village of Jimma is where Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj had come once. So but this place wasn't revealed. So it was Sant Atar Singh Ji that revealed this place, that Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj had came to the village of Jimma. And Sant Atar Singh Ji, when they came once back to their village, they told the village people that Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj came to this place. So when Sant Atar Singh Ji came back to the village, they came to this place and they sat at this place. They never went to their house. And when we delve into their life more, we'll realize that Sant Atar Singh Ji was detached from their family, from their worldly duties, because they didn't come to stay within their family. They didn't come to get married and have a life, have a worldly life. They came to Amrit Parchar and make people into Sikh. So this village Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj had visited once. Hanji. So we'll look at the Sikh population at that time. So I said it was 1 crore during Sant Maharaj Ji Singh's time. After that, it went to 1,907,833. And if you look, it goes up to 2,000, 3,000. And this is when Sant Atar Singh Ji is around. So Sant Atar Singh Ji, 1866, they're born. And the population grew in the years from 10 years, and then from 20 years, it got to 9,000 increase in people in the Sikh Panth. And you can see increases, and in 1931, just before Sant Atar Singh Ji passes on, it got to 4 lakh, which is a big number. And it was a contribution of Sant Atar Singh Ji. So there's a link here. I saw a video, and they were basically they showed the population from 1900 and how it will grow to 2100, and the goal is going to be like 43 million Sikhs. I'm not sure if it's going to be true, but that's yeah. So the childhood of Sant Atar Singh Ji. So at 7 years, it kind of mirrors what Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj said when they went to school. And Sant Atar Singh Ji said to their father, Baba Karma Singh Ji, that do not send me to school. Because I do not want to read any education that's going to take me to the world. मैं दुनियावी पढ़ाई नहीं पढ़नी. मैं सिर्फ वो पढ़ाई पढ़नी आ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਯਾਦ ਤੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੱਸਣ. So I only want to understand, read that education, to study that education that will lead me to the truth, which is WhyGuru. So their father sent him to a dera which was in the village of Jimma, which is of Bhai Ram Singh Ji, Nirmala Dera, and by Butta Singh Ji. They taught Sant Atar Singh the Gurmukhi script, and then from then they took Santhya. So Santhya is when you read Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj and you learn how the pronunciation properly, the Bishram, how to read. And in them days, what would they do is they do Prakash of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj, because they never used to have like Santhya, like parts of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They would take Santhya from actual Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, and the bead would be handwritten, and it would be ladiva, so it would be all joined up. So Sant Atar Singh Ji would take Santhya from Bhai Butta Singh Ji. After that, they then were told them, as being from a Jimindar background, to go and graze the cattle. So ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਸ਼ੂ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ to the shepherd, and then ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਲਾਉਣਾ. So they'll graze the grass, they'll go and have a bath in the water in there. And this was a job for Sant Attar Singh Ji. And then at some time, they were sent to do farming. But Sant Attar Singh Ji will sit there and start meditating instead. And they will have some friends with them, and they go, "Tusi vi bejo, asi naam simran kariye." And so these friends, they will sit together with their friends and remember WhyGuru Ji. The photo behind them is actually of Sant Attar Singh Ji Maharaj in their childhood. So Sant Ji, so I'm fast forwarding their life. So there's a lot of Sakhiyan that happened. I've only got an hour or so to talk about them. Their life is so vast. There's so many Janam Sakhiyan that are written about Sant Attar Singh Ji you can read in depth. But I've fast forwarded to when they go into the army. And the army time was a pivotal time for Sant Attar Singh Ji, because in the army is when they take Amrit. And then from the army, they get the Jukti. Jukti meaning how to remember WhyGuru Ji, what you should do. Dhyan kive launa. Dhyan matlab ke who do you focus your mind to? These kind of things they got when they went to the army. So they travelled to a pind called Dharmakot, and from there they got recruited into the army in 1883. And then they went to Kohat. Kohat is basically a place now, it's near Peshawar, it's in Pakistan. And that photo is of Kohat, and you can see how nice it is. And they were sent to the Toba Khana. So the Toba Khana is basically Tob meaning, the artillery of what they were using in the army. They would take care of the artillery. That was the first job that was given to the new recruits. They spent a year in the Tob Khana, and then they shifted. So there was a Gursikh that they met in the army, and they go that asita sochya si ki asi utte jaake we'll go into the army and then we'll have time to remember WhyGuru Ji. We ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. We didn't think that there'd be a lot of work in the army. But they go that this Gursikh said to them, then why don't you shift to our regiment, and then I'll put a safarish in. I'll tell the main person that this person, don't give him so much work, and then you can sit and do your bhakti. So then they were sent to the regiment, the 54th regiment. The Paltan JDC, they were sent to the 54th Paltan. And then that time, Sant Attar Singh Ji was given Amrit. And these were 4 Gursikhs were tiyar to give Amrit. Yani Thakur Singh Ji from Amritsar, Subedar Dalal Singh Ji, Havaldar Hira Singh, te Bhai Jodh Singh Ji Granthi. These 4 Gursikhs were ready to administer Amrit to Attar Singh and to other Gursikhs. But they couldn't find a 5th Gursikh to give Amrit, because we know that it's Panj Pyare, and you need 5 Tayar par Tayar Gursikhs standing in front of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, and there'll be one sitting in the tabya of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. At that time, Dhan Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj had sent a Sikh. This Sikh came straight. They went to the Gurdwara Sahib where the Amrit Sanchar was going to take place. They came inside and they said, "We heard that there's going to be Amrit Sanchar here." They go that "Asi hon aaye for this Amrit Sanchar." And the Gursikhs were like, "Where did this person come from?" The Gursikhs, they usually wear different bastar, different clothes when they administer Amrit. They gave the chola, they administered Amrit, and they gave the red. Once this Amrit Sanchar finished, this Gursikh went out, and they don't know. They go that they were about to stop this Gursikh so they can give him prashada pani to do their seva, but they don't know. They go that where that Gursikh went. Pata nahi vi wo Gursikh kithe chale gaye. That Gursikh just left, and they never saw that Gursikh again. They go, it was like Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj sent this Gursikh to administer, to give Amrit and partake in the Amrit Sanchar. And at that time, Sant Attar Singh Ji was given a rat. So Sant Attar Singh Ji, the rat that they were given wasn't any different to the rat we have today. Is to get up in the morning at Amrit Vela, to read your Panj Baniya, to do simran in the mornings, in the evenings read Rera Sahib, Kirtan Soila, stay away from the char bajjar karat, and so on. At that time, Sant Atar Singh Ji then started doing abhyas. Abhyas meaning simran of WhyGuru Ji, saying WhyGuru all the time. So the Naam abhyas started. I'm going to read this in Punjabi, then we can translate. सवा पहर रात दे उठ के सोच इशनान करके नदी दे किनारे जा कोल जर रख के नेत्र बंद करके सतगुरु नानक देव जी महाराज दा ध्यान धरके शब्द दा अभ्यास करना चाहिदा है. सो सवा पहर रात रहिंदी. So this is what Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj all the way to Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj would do. Sava pahar. So Sava is 1.25. So pair, the first pair is about 3 o'clock. So they will get up before 3 o'clock. So about 1 o'clock or so, they will get up. Soch ishnan karke nadi de kinare. So they will do ishnan. Ishnan meaning have a bath. And go near the kinara of the nadi. The nadi meaning the water, where the water will flow. Jal rakh ke, they will put water next to a gurdwara. A gurdwara is basically a steel plate, steel thing where they have water inside it. And they'll say netr band ke, netr meaning your eyes. Close your eyes, and then who would you think about? Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Think about Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj in your surat. Some Guru Sikhs say that it's not bad to use a photo of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Jis tarah da ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਮਨ ਕਰਦਾ. You can have that dhyan in front of you, and then when you do dhyan, you can see that photo in front of you. What's going to happen is that dhyan will come inside you. That is sargun dhyan, a dhyan of an actual form. But that form, when you do simran so much, that dhyan will go inside you, and that dhyan will then change to nirgun, without any form. And that dhyan, that's what Sant Atar Singh Ji did. Shabad da abhyas karna. Shabad is the Guru. The Guru isn't a form, they are formless. And the formless is the Shabad. The Shabad are the words of WhyGuru. That is the actual form of WhyGuru and Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Jeda te jewe te hot halone nahi, man ekagar rakhna. So firstly you would say with your hot, with your lips, but after that, once your man is ekagar, is steadfast, and your mind is not wavering elsewhere, your lips don't move at all. Saas de bahar aun samay vahe kehe, andar jaan samay Guru. So vahe outside, Guru inside. Vahe Guru. Vahe Guru. This is what Sant Atar Singh Ji was doing. Isse nu saas gras da jaap kehndे ਹਨ. This is what saas gras is. The saas means your breath, gras means your food. If every breath and every food, every morsel that you have, you're saying Vahe Guru. Vahe Guru. ਸਾਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਆਉਣ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਸ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਅੰਦਰ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਾ ਗਰਾਸ. ਅੰਦਰ ਸਾਸ ਆਊਟ, ਸਾਸ ਗਰਾਸ ਇਨ. ਜਾਪ ਦਾ ਅਭਿਆਸ 5 ਮਿੰਟ ਤੇ ਆਰੰਭ ਕਰੇ, ਧੀਰੇ ਧੀਰੇ ਇਕਾਗਰਤਾ 24 ਘੰਟੇ ਤੱਕ ਲੈ ਆਵੇ. So you do it for 5 minutes. Once you've done it for 5 minutes, then that would stay with you for the 24 hours. That will be with you for 24 hours. So Atar Singh Ji, when they would walk, even we'll talk about them going to Hazoor Sahib, every foot, so when the one foot they would say Vahe, with the other foot they would say Guru. Vahe Guru, Vahe Guru. And they go ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਸਨ, the elder Gursikhs from Guru Sahib's time, they would use this trikka. ਇਹ trikka wasn't anything new, it was from Guru Sahib's time. ਇਹੀ tariqa ਦੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਸਨ. ਹਾਂਜੀ. So Sant Atar Singh Ji, they left the army. I've kind of fast forwarded. They stayed in the army for about a year or so. But man ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਚਾਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. ਚਾਟ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ they weren't focusing, because what they do, all they wanted to do is just remember WhyGuru all the time. And they saw that as a vigan, that it's stopping them remembering WhyGuru. So they thought now, ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਜਾਣ ਦਾ ਹੀ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਆ. So they said that they travelled all the way to Hazoor Sahib. So they went from the top of Punjab, which is Parchar, all the way to the end, to the bottom of south of India now. And they walked all the way themselves. And what did they do? They just simran all the way. Jithe vi koi milda si koi shakan vaste, they'll take any food. If not, some days they'll go kadakke de nali, that they wouldn't have any food. Sometimes they have patte, ohi patte kha lende sige from the trees. If not, if they didn't find anything, they'll say, chalo, shukriya WhyGuru da. So at that time, they heard that their father, Karm Singh, had passed away. So all the ਉੱਥੋਂ he received a letter to come home. ਪਰ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਮਨ ਉਚਾਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, and then they left for Hazoor Sahib. So when they got to Hazoor Sahib, inside they did Shukrana of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. They saw the takht of Hazoor Sahib. If you've been to Hazoor Sahib now, you see that there's a Gurdwara Sahib made of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. And at the top there's a gummad, the dome bit. You know? And they saw the dome from far. And they got so happy, utto hi dandot, they did matha take straight away. They go that they can see the Gurdwara Sahib, and the andro, they did Shukrana, they thanked Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj that jehdi andro they did ardas that they want to go to Hazoor Sahib, now they have reached there. Hanji. So when they got there, it wasn't like today where you go there straight, you go to the room to say, give us a room, you know, you get trying to get a chabi and you have to fight with them to get a chabi. It wasn't like that. There's no rooms whatsoever. Is firstly, people wouldn't get to Hazoor Sahib because it was in the other side of the country. And it was very hard because it was jungle sige. In jungਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਆ, you get this ਜਾਨਵਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਸ਼ੇਰ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਖਤਰਨਾਕ, you'll have animals. So getting to Hazoor Sahib was very hard. So when they got there, they just stayed in the Parkarma. The Parkarma is the outside boundary of the Gurdwara Sahib. Next day, they did the Shanaan, they got up, did the Nitnem. And the Pujari is basically the one that's, if you go to Hazoor Sahib today, there's Baba Kulwant Singh. And Baba Kulwant Singh is the one that goes inside where Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj left this world. It's called the Ingitha Sahib. And that seva is done by the Pujari Singh, or you can call them the Jathedar Singh, and nobody else is allowed in there. And at that time, during Sant Atar Singh Ji's time, the Pujari Singh was by Nanu Singh. And the Maryada of Hazoor Sahib would be that not anybody could go there. People that would go there, there was a Maryada. They would ask, first, have you taken Amrit? And some people would say, Hanji, you take an Amrit. Then they say, are you Tiyar bar Tiyar? Tiyar bar Tiyar means that, do you do your Panch Baniyan da Nitnem? Have you partaken in any of the Pajr Kret, or are you Tiyar bar Tiyar? Have you not, for example, have you cut your hair, or have you eaten any meat or anything like that? That would be asked. And if somebody says that we are not Tiyar bar Tiyar, then they'll say you have to do so much seva, this is your tanakha, this is your bani, and then they say once you've done that, come back, and then you can stay at Hazoor Sahib. So they asked Sant Atar Singh Ji, Sant Atar Singh Ji said, Guru Sahib de kirpa de naal, with Guru's kirpa, I have taken Amrit and I am Tiyar par Tiyar. Bhai Nanu Singh looked at Sant Atar Singh Ji and they saw that there's something different about Sant Atar Singh Ji. They go that there's this jalal on their face, this noor on their face. Noor is like the light on their face. They said that, come with us, come to our bunga. Bunga is basically the place where they will reside. So they took them to their own place where they lived. At that time, so Atar Singh Ji said that we want to start doing simran on the banks of Gurdwara. So if you've been to Hazoor Sahib, the river that flows by Hazoor Sahib called Gurdwara, they sat on the river banks of Gurdwara and they started doing Japji Sahib that part. And what they would do is get rocks and they'll put them in front of him. When they've done one Japji Sahib, they'll throw that rock in the water. And the next one they'll throw. So they're basically keeping account of how much part they would do. And they would do countless of Japji Sahibs a day. And at that time, firstly, they didn't care about what they would eat and all of that. But one Gursikh said that we want to bring prashada to you. And Sant Atar Singh Ji said, just bring one prashada, make a fat prashada, a thick prashada, and just put some sabji or dal. Whatever you give on that day, I'll take. And that's it. And they would eat one prashada a day. And they did that for 1 year and 7 months. At one time, they were standing in the water and they hadn't eaten for 8 days. And then Pujari by Nanu Singh had a dream. It was like Kalgitar Pita, Tan Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, telling Bhai Nanu Ji that this Gursikh that you you should have taken a prashada for, because they couldn't find Sant Atar Singh. So what Atar Singh would do, they'll go further on so nobody could find them. And sometimes the person that would take prashada, they couldn't find Sant Atar Singh Ji, and they would come back. And so Sant Atar Singh Ji hadn't eaten for 8 days. And at that time, the Pujari had a dream. I'm going to fast forward the story. They go to the place, Nigina, I think it was Nigina Ghat, to go and give them food. And when they went there, they couldn't find anyone because Sant Atar Singh Ji had gone forward. And they came back, and they had a dream again. And they go, "Tusi prashada kyun nahi shikaya?" They couldn't find them. They go back, but go carry on a bit more, and then take mord auga, mord jo, and there is Sant Atar Singh Ji. And then when they got there, they saw Sant Atar Singh Ji. And Sant Atar Singh Ji said, "Why have you come to here? How did you get here?" And they told him the whole story. So this is how Sant Atar Singh Ji wasn't anybody special. And at Hazoor Sahib, they did 25,000 Japji Sahib de Path at Shikar Ghat and 1 lakh Path at Nagina Ghat. I don't think we can pass one Japji Sahib a day. Nitnem hi ho ji inna hi bahut hai sanu, hai na. Ek part karna, 2 part karne jo vad to vad part 5 kar lo, yeah, in a day. But doing countless of Japji Sahibs, and they did this all within 2 years. Well, Shikar Ghat of the 2 years, so within it, there was full time was about 2 years or so when they did Japji Sahib de Path. There's countless of times where there will be snakes and tuhes, jede bichu ki English kehande a scorpions, hai na. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਉਹ they went on top of Sant Atar Singh Ji. The snake would go around Sant Atar Singh Ji and just carry on, even though they were very poisonous, but they didn't do anything to Sant Atar Singh Ji. And Sant Atar Singh Ji would sit in the meditation of WhyGuru Ji. Hanji. So this is the place, this is the plaque which is made now. So the Gurdwara you can see is behind, but Gurdwara was idhar nu si pehla, because the flow of the water always changes. And this is the place where Sant Atar Singh Ji was stand in the water and meditate on WhyGuru Ji. Hanji. So at that time, Sant Atar Singh Ji, they found out that from a Gursikh that because they left the army and they just took leave. They never said that they didn't leave the army properly. And they were told by Gursikh that they're still looking for you. Because Sant Atar Singh Ji was a very good soldier. They were very good in their work. They were very strong, very tall, and they were very good in the army. And because of this, ਜਿਹੜੇ army ਦੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਿਪਾਹੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ Sant Atar Singh Ji, they wanted Sant Atar Singh Ji to be in the army, in their regiment. And Sant Atar Singh Ji goes, nahi, ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣ ਜਾਣਾ. We want to now do bandagi to remember WhyGuru all the time. We've got a different service. So they go that now we better go back to the army and properly cut our name, and then we can leave. It's like they got a boja. It's like something on our head that we need to do this and have a clear mind after. So Sant Atar Singh Ji, they went to the army, and at that time, when they went to army, if somebody is absent for a long time, they had to punish them. So what they did is they sent Sant Atar Singh Ji to the quarter guard. The quarter guard, they were locked up in the quarter guard. So a quarter guard is a guardhouse to hold soldiers who are charged with minor crimes. And at that place, they would have to take care of the artillery and all that kind of stuff. So it's basically they had to work in this quarter guard. And Sant Atar Singh Ji goes that, "Theek hai, I'll sit in this quarter guard, lock me up, let's see what happens." And at that time, they brought some bistar. The bistar is in jade kambal and stuff like that for Sant Atar Singh Ji. Sant Atar Singh Ji took it, put it underneath them, and they sat in samadhi. Many months, they just sat there doing simran. And at that time, the spicy, the people in the army, they saw this and they go that Sant Atar Singh Ji is not going to back down. And they go that, "Theek hai, we will now release him from the army." And that's from that day, Sant Atar Singh Ji was discharged from the army. So they came back to Punjab, And in Punjab, they went to their village, Chima. But they didn't go home. Because once you become a sadhu, once you remember that WhyGuru, now I'm going to do seva of WhyGuru Ji, what's the point of going back home, because you'll just be attached to your family. And this is the attachment that we have a problem with. We have attachment to our parents, our children, and that's worldly attachment. Not just to people, but to things as well. We're attached to a lot of things in this world. And so Atar Singh said, there's no point for me to, if I'm here to remember WhyGuru Ji, no point me going home, because my family, not that Atar Singh Ji was attached, but their mother. Their father had passed away, but their mother, their sister, their family were attached to them. And so Atar Singh Ji sat outside in the khed. And at that time, their sister was in the khed, were in the khed, and they saw this person from afar. And when they went closer and closer, they saw that it's a Veera, it's our brother. And then they got so happy, they ran home and they told their mother that Veer Ji, they've come to the village. Our brothers come back. And at that time, their mom came back, and their mom said that Atar Singh, don't go. So Atar Singh Ji said, "Theek hai, I won't leave this place, I won't leave this village, but there's ek shart hai, that you would never tell me to get married." Because Atar Singh Ji knew that their mother at one point would say this. And so they said, never tell me to get married, because there was a rishta that came for Sant Atar Singh Ji, and they wanted them to get married. So Mata Ji, because they loved their son, they got that TK, we won't say anything. And time went by. There's so many sakhiyan that happened in that time, but I'm going to fast forward where Jidi Mata Bholi si, she said to their son once, because she Modevich, like Mata Nanak Maharaj Ji di Mata, she had this parda of Maya in front of her. Even though she is the mother of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, and you would think that if she's the mother of a guru, she would have Gyan, Brahm Gyan. But ਜਿਹੜਾ WhyGuru ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਪਰਦਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਮੋਹ ਦਾ ਪਰਦਾ meaning that fast in front of them, and it was attachment that they had to the son, and they couldn't understand Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj properly. It was only till the end of their life that they really understood Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. So this Mata Bholi Ji, she forgot what her son said one day, and then she said, "ਵੀ ਪੁੱਤ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ, ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਰਾ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਲੈਂਦੇ, meaning that you would stay in this house, that you would take care of everything. ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਚੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕਰ ਗਏ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਭਰਾ ਆ, your brother, younger brother, he's young yet, he can't do everything. Why don't you take the responsibility?" And at that time, Atar Singh Ji said, "Mata, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਭੁੱਲ ਗਏ? Have you forgot what I said? ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਬਾਦਤ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ." Ibadat means bandagi. We are here to remember WhyGuru and then tell others how to remember WhyGuru. We are here to make other people remember WhyGuru and give them Brahm Gyan. They go that nahi. And at that time, Atar Singh Ji left the village, and they left Chimma. So at that time, Atar Singh Ji, they travel. And they went to Punjab Sahib. And at Punjab Sahib, at Punjab Sahib is Gurdwara Sahib where Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj went. We all know the story of Ali Kandari and the water, and how the waters came down, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj ne apne hath de panje de naal, panja meaning our hand with the 4 fingers and a thumb, they stopped it. So at that place, Atar Singh Ji thought, let's go to Yatra to Punjab Sahib, and they met by Gurmukhi Singh on the way. And by Gurmukhi Singh, they saw Atar Singh Ji, and they go that, "We Gurmukha, tusi kithe challe ho?" They go that, "We're going to Punjab Sahib." They go that, "Why do you stay here for a bit and then go to stay at our house to prashada pani chak ke jao?" And they go that, Atar Singh Ji goes, "No, we want to carry on to Punjab Sahib." They go that, "Yeah, nobody comes to our house." They wanted the Gursikh to stay in their house, and they want to do seva. Purane Gursikhs, they had this cha that they wanted to do seva of Gursikhs that would come. And so at that time, Atar Singh Ji goes, "No, we'll stay here." And so Atar Singh Ji stayed at this house for many, many, many months. and even the month of Po is the coldest month, especially Punjab Sahib being in the mountains. Punjab Sahib is very cold in the month of Po. And at that time, Atar Singh Ji Maharaj, they'll have the star, they'll have a puri and just a kashera. Sometimes the puri, they'll sit outside doing simran, and the puri will come off them and they'll be wearing nothing. And at that time, my Radha Ji, who was the wife of Bhai Gurmukhi Singh, would make a chola, a long chola from top to toe that would tuck them from top to toe so they wouldn't be cold. And so Atar Singh Ji would sit in many months doing bhakti. And at that time, their son Sundar Singh passes away. And at this point, son Atar Singh Ji became Viragi. Virag is the point to meet WhyGuru Ji, you need Virag. Virag is a point where you understand that everything is false. Nothing is true. And you long for the darshan of WhyGuru Ji. And you always want to be with WhyGuru Ji. That is Virag. So, Sundar Singh passes away, and Atar Singh Ji then does the whole Sej part themselves. And because of this Virag that they felt, they leave the house without telling anyone, because if they told them, they would then stop them. So in the night when they do bhakti, they were just left from the back door and they went to Punjab Sahib. They went to Punjab Sahib, stayed there for a bit, did darshan, did bhakti, and they carried on to the mountains. When they were doing all this yatra, Sant Atar Singh Ji would sometimes not eat for many, many months. They wouldn't eat. Because there was no food. It wasn't like today where you have Gurdwara everywhere, you have restaurants everywhere, there's population is a lot now, food is readily available. They were going to places where there was nothing. Sant Atar Singh Ji Kanoha, they went to Kanoha. Kanoha was a village in Rawalpindi, now in Pakistan. And at this place, they went on so many places. I've not put everything in this slide, in this presentation, because there's so many places that Sant Atar Singh Ji stopped and they did bhakti. I'm just doing the main places and what Sikhi we can get from there. In Kanoha, there was Bhai Wazir Singh, Amata Pagpari. Again, there's another family that Sant Atar Singh Ji stayed with and did simran. And there's a kas. A kas is basically a place where there's water flowing. So Sant Atar Singh Ji would stay at Bhai Wazir Singh's house, and in the mornings, early morning, they'll go to this kas and do simran. And they'll do simran for many, many days on end. At that place, Sant Atar Singh Ji did a whole Akhand Path themselves. They'll sit, they sat and did one Akhand Path from start to finish themselves. They say that they had a bit of the Sangat made them have a break for a few minutes to take water, but other than that, they recited the whole Akhand Path themselves. ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਭਲਾਹੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਝੰਗੀ ਸੀ. ਭਲਾਹੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਝੰਗੀ is basically ਜਿੱਥੇ ਚਿੜੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ where there's a lot of trees, ਜਿਸ ਜੰਗਲ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ, like a jungle, ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਉੱਥੇ Sant Atar Singh first, they made a kutia, they jumped up for 40 days. So they closed the door, not meeting anyone, not talking to anyone, and they did jap their simran for 40 days. Then they came out, then they go that we're going to go back in. They went back in for 6 months. They never met anyone for 6 months. And then they came out again, and they went in for another 1 year. Ek saal. Imagine not seeing anybody for 40 days. For 6 months, but for a year, Sant Atar Singh, that's a photo in Kanoha. Ek Kanohe di photo where Sant Atar Singh Ji is doing bhakti. And inna sari dubla ho gaya siga, patla ho gaya siga. It came was that, but still they didn't care about it. And it's very rare to see a sant that did so much tapasya, so much bandagi. It's very rare. And then from then, once they finished their bhakti in 1896, they formed a Kirtan Jatha. Sant Atar Singh Ji would say that Kirtan is Kaljug mein Kirtan Pradhana. Pradhana means the Shromani, the main. Kaljug, we're in the fourth Jug. Kaljug, the time of darkness. Kaljug meh means in. Kirtan Pradhana, Kirtan, Ki Ratan. That Ratan of praising WhyGuru Ji. Gurmukh japiya laye dhyana. Your dhyan, your surat, your your focus is on WhyGuru, है ना? Gurmukhi japiye. Japiye means jap is when you recite it with your lips. So Sant Atar Singh would say that it's really important to always praise WhyGuru. And in this way, they started doing Kirtan. And in the Kirtan, they started with Tarna Kirtan. Tarna Kirtan, you probably heard Sant Isha Singh ji, Rade Sahib wale. They do basically, you got the Vajja na Tolki, and then Tolki na Shane, hai na, vajaunde a. And it's basically, you take a tuk of Gurbani, and you basically, they will translate it into Punjabi, and that will be the take, that will be the main line, and they'll keep reciting that, hai na. And then after reciting that, they'll recite the whole Shabad, that what they're trying to explain. And it's basically, jehde pindan de log sige, jehde unpad si. So you have to understand the literacy time, people there were illiterate. There wasn't many people, there were many schools, people didn't know how to read and write, their understanding wasn't that good. So it's a way to entice the people and get them to read. And it comes in the Jeevani of Sant Atar Singh that they did this. Mata Bholi ji nu ek tuk karke, one line, they will explain it in a tarna, and they isay tarah they got the whole of Japji Sahib Kant. The Kant means remembered the whole of Japji Sahib. And they'll do that in Pind, hana jaake, they'll go to Pind and Pindan de vich jaake, they will do that so it's easy for people to understand and recite Gurbani. So, where am I? Yes, so at that time, Baba Khem Singh Bedi, it was in the family of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, and they were very wealthy. And they heard about Sant Atar Singh Ji. They came to see Sant Atar Singh Ji. And one day they say that Baba Khem Singh Ji gave them, they presented them with a dashalla, like a qimati, like a shawl, a very expensive shawl. And they gave this shawl to Sant Atar Singh Ji. And Sant Atar Singh Ji goes, we do not need this. Why? Because they go that the line that we are on, eta fakran di line ya, we're not here to be enticed by the world. They go that it's important that we're not enticed by things around us, especially very expensive things like the shalle. And then Baba Khem Singh said, Sant Atar Singh Ji is going on the right path. If they stay on this path of renouncing these wealthy things and understanding everything is false, they will be able to show other people about WhyGuru and the right path. And then Baba Vizir Singh, the house estate of Baba Vizir Singh passes away. Then Sanji tells them, Sant Atar Singh Ji told them that they're going to pass away at this time. Sant Atar Singh Ji, there's a story where Sant Atar Singh Ji there's this whole story about it. I'm not going to say the whole story, but at the end of it was that Sant Atar Singh Ji took Bhai Vizir Singh in their laps, and they said that don't think of anything now. Apne put ghar kuch nahi, don't think about anything. ਸੁਰਤ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਚ ਜੋੜੋ ਤੇ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜਪੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜਪੋਗੇ if you just remember ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ now you go straight to Sachkhand but if your surat your mind goes somewhere else you come back and this same when we talk about Mata Bholi ji this is the same upadesh that Sant Atar Singh ji gives to Mata Bholi ji. So meditation, they go to Dera Luni, Dera Khalsa, different pen in the Rawalpindi area. And if you understand is, at that time in India, it wasn't just Sikh, Musliman, we see, obviously 1947, Musliman udhar chale gaye Pakistan wal, but udhar Musliman, Sikh, Hindu, Isai, sare ikatthe hunde si. And Sant Atar Singh ji, Muslimanan nu vi upadesh dende sige. And then Gurbani de vek ek shabd hunda, yak arju guftam pesh to dargosh gun kartar, Hakka Kabir Kareem to Payav Parvadigar. Dunya Mukam Fani. The Haqiq Dildani. That this world is false. This world is not to stay. And this Shabad of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj was recited to explain to the Musliman because it was in Persian. And in that area they spoke Persian. So Sant Atar Singh Ji understood that how to what you need to do to what kind of words you need to speak, how you need to do Parchar to get the word across in the language that the people spoke. Bhai Hari Singh Ji took, there's a story at that time where there was a Bhai Hari Singh Ji. Bhai Hari Singh Ji was a Gurdwara. Gurdwara is basically the one that does seva of the Sant. Would stay with Sant Atar Singh Ji all the time. And there's somebody called Granthi Bhajan Singh, and So Granthi Bachan Singh, so the name's the wrong way around. So what happened was there was a Sikh basically who had alcohol shop. The alcohol shop was owned by a person, and there was this person, Atar Singh, he was walking, but Hari Singh was walking behind them. And this person called Bhajan Singh said, I need to talk to you. So they took Hari Singh into his shop, even though it wasn't anything to do with buying alcohol or anything. But because he stood in the alcohol shop, obviously that was wrong. Gursikh jada can never go where there is alcohol, where there is meat, where there is things basically which is against Sikhi. You become Tankhaya. And so at that time, somebody came to the Diwan and said to Atar Singh, this person came into the alcohol shop. And so Atar Singh said that Tankhaya ho gaya. That this person, so you have to understand the time, this is a time where these things would never happen. I think as Kal Yug has gone by, our standard has lowered. And now we don't see anything wrong with it. Or not saying we don't see anything wrong with it, I'm not going to pass judgment, but things are not the same as what they used to be like. And so they got to sit Tankhaya ho, and now you'll have to do, so they told him you have to do some seva and some simran and some part, and then you'll get Shamil, you'll become back into the fold of the Khalsa Panth. Hanji. So at that time, so Atar Singh Ji was at Punjab Sahib. They met Baba Sham Singh Ji. Baba Sham Singh Ji was a very was a Gursikh that was known in the Panth. They lived on for about 125 years. They did seva in Harmandir Sahib, playing the Saranda for 75 years or so. So they had a lot of respect in the Khalsa Panth. So Baba Sham Singh Ji requested Sant Atar Singh Ji to come to Amritsar Sahib, where Baba Sham Singh would reside. So Sant Ji said that we'll come once we do darshan of Punjab Sahib, and then we'll come straight to Amritsar Sahib. So Baba Sham Singh Ji went back to Amritsar Sahib, and then Sant Atar Singh Ji came on train to Amritsar Sahib. So every day Sant Atar Singh Ji would do Kirtan in. So if you go to Harmandir Sahib, and you can, now obviously you've got like buildings made, but before, think that there's no buildings, so just Harmandir Sahib, Khalsa Sahib, the Gurdwara Sahib. Then outside there was Manji Sahib. Manji Sahib was an open space, and there was a bagh there, like a garden. And so Atar Singh Ji would sit there and do Kirtan. But jede pujari see, though, at that time they weren't like the Shromani Committee. It was just a pujari that would take care of the Gurdwara. And they did Irka. They was like, why is this person doing Kirtan and people coming to them? They got very angry and they stopped Sant Atar Singh Ji doing Kirtan, because the prabhav that Sant Atar Singh Ji had is when they started Kirtan, they say that Sant Atar Singh Ji's voice would travel far, and then their message, the way they would do Kirtan and the way they would convey the message, people would come in thousands, and they would take Amrit. And the Pujari saw that the money, because they wanted money, and all they wanted is the money that was going to Sant Atar Singh Ji come to them instead. So they stopped Sant Atar Singh Ji to do Kirtan. So Sant Atar Singh Ji went on and went to a bunga and did Kirtan there. And then the Pujari realized, actually, we've done something wrong, and they apologized. So Sant Ji and Baba Ji, when they met, Baba Sham Singh Ji, even though they were Brahmagani themselves, they said to Sant Atar Singh Ji, please do Kirpa on us. So Atar Singh Ji said, "What? You do not need kirpa. You have the kirpa of Guru Ramdas Ji Maharaj." They go that jire aap japde, the one that are one with WhyGuru themselves, they can do kirpa on others. So they said that tusi kirpa karo. And what they did is Atar Singh Ji took Baba Sham Singh Ji. They go, they did simran, and when they did simran in Baba Sham Singh Ji's body, a japa jap shuru ho gaya. A japa jap is basically when simran is always happening all the time, and they'll go that never stopped till the end of their life. That they always could feel and they could hear rom in every breath, in every hair, that they could WhyGuru was being recited. So Sant Atar Singh Ji's main aim, main reason to come to this world was to administer Amrit Parchar. And Amrit Parchar, Sant Atar Singh Ji, people wrote numbers about how many people they probably administered Amrit to, but really it was lakhan de vich, thousands of people they gave Amrit to. And this is a story where Sant Atar Singh Ji, There's somebody called Sital Das, and Sital Das was her Sahajatari. Sahajatari meaning that they were from a family that weren't Sikh, they were Hindu, and he wanted to become a Sikh, but he's for a reason he couldn't go to the Amrit Sanchar, and at that night he died. And when he died, they were taking his body, and Sant Atar Singh Ji heard that they saw this body being taken away to be cremated. Sant Ji said, stop. And they got the Panj Pyare, they administered Amrit, they made Amrit, and they go, eda mukh kholo. ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਮੂੰਹ ਖੋਲਿਆ, they put a little bit of Amrit inside his mouth, then they ਛਿੱਟੇ ਮਾਰੇ on his skull, on his brain, on his head. ਜਦੋਂ ਛਿੱਟੇ ਮਾਰੇ, ਐਡਾ ਪਟਾਕਾ ਵੱਜਿਆ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ there's like a cannon was bursting, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਇਹ ਤੋਪ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਇਹ was bursting. ਇੱਦਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਦਸਮ ਦੁਆਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਵਾਸ ਸੀ, his breath were all the way into his ਦਸਮ ਦੁਆਰ at the top here, which ਇੱਥੇ ਕਿਆ ਦਸਮ ਦੁਆਰ ਸਾਡਾ, and he kept, because ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, what they do is when they die, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸੰਤ ਗਨੀ ਮੋਹਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ passed away, the doctor came to Sant Gani Mohan Singh Ji, they came to check if they're breathing or not. This is a Mahapurusha that passed away about 5 years ago. They came to check if they're breathing, and they checked how we normally check our, ਇੱਦਾਂ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, they go ਇੱਥੇ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, there's no ਉੱਥੇ ਸਵਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ. When they checked here, ਇੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਿਆ is there's a nadi that goes, a nadi meaning a vein, ਹੈ ਨਾ, that goes from inside, the Brahmendra nadi ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਉੱਪਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ, ਇੱਥੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦਸਮ ਦੁਆਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਸਵਾਸ come out. ਇੱਥੇ there was still some ਸਵਾਸ ਸੀਗੇ. ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਵਾਸ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਚੜ੍ਹਾਤੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਦਸਮ ਦੁਆਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਅਤੇ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਚੜ੍ਹਾ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਹੀ ਸਵਾਸ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮਾਤਾ ਗੁਜਰੀ ਜੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਹਿਬਜ਼ਾਦਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਸਾਹਿਬਜ਼ਾਦੇ ਹੁਣ ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਹੋ ਗਏ, at that time ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਸਵਾਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਸਮ ਦੁਆਰ 'ਚ ਲਿਆਉਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਅਤੇ ਦਸਮ ਦੁਆਰ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਹੀ they then left their body with their own ਇੱਛਾ. and at that time ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਸੀਤਲ ਦਾਸ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਫਿਰ they died. So at that time ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਰੀਆ ਸਮਾਜੀ ਸੀਗੇ, I've told you that story right at the start where they cut the case and they put it on a stick and they took it into the galiyan, the share, to show people. And at that time, this is when Sant Atar Singh Ji ਜੋਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਾ ਰਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ. That this is the point where this was the takkar that they had with the people that didn't want Amrit Parchar. But Sant Atar Singh Ji didn't stop. And there was some people, somebody asked Sant Atar Singh Ji, why do you give Amrit to everyone? And Sant Atar Singh Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੀ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਦਾ, our job is to give Amrit. ਕਿ ਰਹਿਤ ਰੱਖਣੀ is up to the person. To keep ਰਹਿਤ is up to the person. ਅਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਕਲਗੀਆਂ ਵਾਲੇ is the one that would do ਕਿਰਪਾ on that person. ਦੇਖੋ ਉਹਦਾ ਲੈ ਸਾਡੀ ਇਹ ਆ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਧਾਰੀ ਹੋਣ, ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕ ਕੇ ਰਹਿਤ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਨਾਮ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਕਰਨ. ਨਾਮ ਅਭਿਆਸ, when you ਨਾਮ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਸਾਡਾ ਸਪੰਦ ਇੰਨਾ ਤਕੜਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਦਾ ਰਾਜ ਹੋਊਗਾ. That's what Sant Atar Singh Ji wanted. Sant Atar Singh Ji never accepted money, because the money is maya at the end of the day, है ना. Maya meaning it's delusion, है ना. And Sant Atar Singh Ji, because नव निधि 18 सिद्धि पिछे लगियां फिरन जो हर हृदय सदा वसाए. नव निधि 18 सिद्धि, so the 18 treasures, the 9 treasures, the 18 treasures, all of these come behind the Gursikh who remember WhyGuru all the time. So Sant Atar Singh Ji then, so one day he went to a pagalkhana. ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਟਾਈਮ ਟੂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. Okay, ਪਾਗਲਖਾਨੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਏ. So pagalkhana is a mental hospital, ਹੈ ਨਾ. And Sant Atar Singh Ji went there and they go ਇੱਥੇ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ in the ਪਾਗਲਖਾਨਾ, and they ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਨੇ, ਦੋਹਰਾ ਮੂੰਹ ਉਚਰੇ ਸ਼ਾਸਤਰ ਖਟ ਪਿਘ ਕਿਰਨ ਚੜ ਜਾਏ, ਅੰਧ ਲਖੈ ਬਦਰੋ ਸੁਣੈ ਜੋ ਕਾਲ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਾਏ. And then सोरठ महला पंजा, हम मैल तुम उज्जवल करते, हम निर्गुण दुदाता, हम मूर्ख तुम चतुर सियाणे, तू सर्व कला का ज्ञाता माधो, हम ऐसे तू ऐसा, हम पापी तुम पाप खंडन, नीको ठाकुर देसा रहो. So these shabds basically, the first one is Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj is talking about the dumb utters. So Maharaj is saying that basically it's with WhyGuru's grace, that person that cannot see, the person that cannot read, with WhyGuru's grace, Maharaj gives them that tongue to be able to talk, that these ears to be able to hear, the eyes to be able to see, है ना. ये वाहिगुरु की कृपा है ना. माधो हम ऐसे तू ऐसे हम मूर्ख. So it's basically saying that we know nothing. It's with the grace of वाहिगुरु जी, महाराज दी कृपा दे नाल, that we get everything. And so that at that time ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਾਗਲਖਾਨੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹ ਛੁੱਟ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ, they released them. They go that it's ਜਿਹੜਾ if you remember ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ all the time, you do simran all the time, you keep it, nothing can come near you. ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਾਗੇ ਆ ਸਕਦਾ. So ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕਣਾ. Sant Atar Singh Ji Maharaj, they always sit in tabia. Tabia meaning sit where Guru Granth Sahib Ji is and do Jawar Sahib. That was their main, when they would come to the Darbar Sahib, that was the main where they would sit. If they were sitting on the side and people would come and do matha tek, but they were told not to. Sant Atar Singh Ji wouldn't allow it in the Hazoori of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. But if they did, Sant Atar Singh Ji, there's a story when they went to Amritsar Sahib and Gyani Thakur Singh Ji, jehde Amritsar de Gyani sige, they told this that at that time Atar Singh Ji, they were keep on matha tek to Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji all the time. They'll get up, go down, get up, go down, keep on matha tek to Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And Gyani Ji saw this and they asked Sant Ji, they go, why are you doing this for? They go that Sade, when we sit in Darbar Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, ਕਈ ਅਲਪਗ ਜੀਵ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ, they matha take to us. They go that ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਹੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਆ. And this true Guru is Guru Ramdas Ji, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. We are giving that. We are just like a vichola. We are just part of this play. But hai sara kuch Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, because everything is Shabad. And at that time, I'm not sure if I added into this, but Sant Atar Singh Ji would say, Roop hi Shabad ya, de kuch nahi hai, the body is nothing, Shabad is everything, and Guru is everything. At that time, Sant Atar Singh Ji would not sit in the Hazoori of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. They would not sit on a different platform. Sometimes you see people some sants or whatever, they will sit on different asan, but Sant Atar Singh Ji would never. ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵਿਸ਼ਾਈ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਉਸੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਾਈ ਤੇ Sant Atar Singh Ji ਬਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਨ, ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਬਿਰਾਜਮਾਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸਨ. The story I wanted to share was that at one time, I think Lahore ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀ, ਲਾਹੌਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਡੇਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀ ਸਥਾਨ, there was a lecture that was Gyani Dit Singh hoye ne. He was a very good he was a vidwan, a scholar, and he did a lecture, but he was from a low caste. And at that time Atar Singh Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ don't go, ਕੜਾ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦ ਵਰਤ ਕੇ ਹੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਓ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੜਾ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਾਦ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਹੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਓ. ਗਿਆਨੀ ਦਿੱਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਾਤ ਵੀ from a low caste ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ, and then they left. And ਉਸ ਵਕਤ ਅਤਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਮਨ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਅਸਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਆ, it's still happening, and they wanted to eradicate that. They go that ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਆ, there's no caste in Sikhi, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਉਹੀ ਰਹਿਤ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਗੂ ਹੁੰਦਾ. there's no different ਰਹਿਤ for different people. ਹਾਂ ਉਸ ਵਕਤ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ would be given, ਖੰਡੇ ਦਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ would be given to people, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਈ ਬੀਬੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਕਈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਾਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਉਹ give ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਦਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ, ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ. ਪਰ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਅਤਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਦੇ ਸਟਾਪਡ ਇਟ, ਦੇ ਗੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਖੰਡੇ ਦਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਾਉਣਾ ਆ. ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਵੀ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੀ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਾਤ ਆ ਵੀ ਬੀਬੀ ਆ, ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਮਾਨ ਆ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਖੰਡੇ ਦਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਹੀ ਛਕਾਉਣਾ ਆ. ਦੈਟਸ ਵਾਟ ਅਤਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਸਟਾਰਟਡ. ਸੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ, ਮਾਤਾ ਭੋਲੀ ਜੀ, at one point ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਅਤਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਯੰਗਰ ਬ੍ਰਦਰ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਸੀਗੀ. ਐਂਡ ਦੈਨ ਅਤਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਸੈਡ ਵੀ ਕਮ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਤਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਭੋਲੀ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਅਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਛੱਡ ਦਿਓ, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਸਿਰਫ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰੋ, ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰੋ. ਐਂਡ ਦੈਨ ਵੈਨ ਅਤਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਵੈਨ ਦੇ ਸਟਾਰਟਡ the ਕਾਰ ਸੇਵਾ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਗੁਰਸਾਗਰ ਮਸਤਵਾਣਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਭੋਲੀ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਕਮਰਾ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਕੁਟੀਆ, ਅਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਭੋਲੀ ਜੀ would sit there and do ਬੰਦਗੀ ਸਿਮਰਨ all day. ਹਾਂਜੀ. So the story I'm going to share about Mata Poli Ji when they passed away, the same what I told you about one of the Gursikhs when they passed away. Sant Ji told them that don't think of anything. They got to a point where they couldn't get up off their manja. So manje to ਉੱਠ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਸਕਦੇ, they couldn't walk or anything, they were bed rest. ਤੇ ਉਸ ਵਕਤ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰੋ, ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਸਿਰਫ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ. If you've got one more life, ਇੱਕ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਨਮ ਆ, जे तुसीं हुण वाहिगुरू नूं सदा याद रखोगे हुण तो लेके तुहाडे अखीर समय तक फिर वो गेड़ भी तुहाडा मुक जाऊगा। फिर माता भोली जी ने उस वक्त तो ही कमर कसा कर लिया तो वाहिगुरू नूं सदा याद रखिया जब तक when they passed away and then at that time when they passed away ਉਹ ਦਿਨ ਸੰਤ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੰਤ ਤੇਜਾ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ MA ਉਹ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ। ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣ ਵੀ ਗਏ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆ। ਐਂਡ at that time ਅਤਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਸਿਰਫ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਹੀ ਕਰਨਾ। ਸੋ at that time ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਗੁਰਸਾਗਰ ਮਸਤਵਾਣਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਥਾਨ ਆ ਇਟਸ ਇਨ ਸੰਗਰੂਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ if you go on the main highway towards ਬਰਨਾਲੇ ਤੋਂ ਸੰਗਰੂਰ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ it's on the main road। ਉੱਥੇ there's a ਪਿੰਡ ਕੋਲ ਬਡਰੁੱਖਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਰਣਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਜਨਮ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਉਸ ਧਰਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਆ if you go here so there's that place actually ਤਿੰਨ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਚਰਨ ਪਏ ਆ। ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ। ਇਹ ਸ੍ਰੀ wrote on there where ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ came from ਨਾਨਕਿਆਣੇ ਤੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਂਜਲੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਨੇ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ। ਇੱਥੇ ਝੀੜੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਬੈਠੇ। ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਰ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਏ। ਐਂਡ ਦੈਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ। ਕੋਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਇਜ਼ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਇਨ ਸੰਗਰੂਰ। ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਵੀ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਚਰਨ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਪਏ ਹਨ। ਇਸ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਥਾਨ ਆ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਵੀ ਮੇਕ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਫॉर ਅ ਪਲੇਸ ਵੇਅਰ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖੀ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ will happen। ਹਾਂਜੀ। So this is the place, if you could look, this is a photo where Sant Atar Singh ji at that time in the avastha they were in when they did seva, and this is a photo, it's from the book of Gursagar Mastwana Sahib। If you go to the next one, so the naming of Gursagar Mastwana Sahib ਜਦੋਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੁਕਮਨਾਮਾ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਧਨਾਸਰੀ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਘਰ ਦੂਜਾ ਅਸ਼ਟਪਦੀਆਂ ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਗੁਰ ਸਾਗਰ ਰਤਨੀ ਭਰਪੂਰੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸਨ ਚੁਗਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੂਰੇ। ਸੋ ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦੈਟ ਕੇਮ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਇਹ ਹੁਣ ਗੁਰ ਸਾਗਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਦਾ ਸਾਗਰ ਮੀਨ ਓਸ਼ਨ ਐਂਡ ਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਮੀਨ ਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਦ ਟੀਚਰ ਰਤਨੀ ਭਰਪੂਰੇ ਭਰਪੂਰੇ ਮੀਨਸ ਅ ਲੋਟ ਅਗਿਣਤ there is no number। ratani marti means Jews in the ocean of the Guru's ocean there's these Jews and these Jews of what of Devi gun है ना। Amrit Sant चुगे है नहीं दूरे they're not far। जेरे Amrit जेरे Sant या the true ones that meditate on WhyGuru they can find these Jews। So this place Gursagar really important to Atar Singh ji because they wanted to make a place where there will be there will be truth, people can come and there will be langar all the time, people can do simran all the time। So Gurbani Satakar, so at that place this is a photo of Sant Atar Singh in Tabya Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj। We talked about Gurbani before। Whenever somebody would read Gurbani, even if Sant Atar Singh Ji was on a horse or if Sant Ji was sitting on the manja or anywhere, if they were sitting down anywhere, so Atar Singh Ji, if they hear somebody reading Gurbani or anything, they will stand up straight away because Gurbani is really in Satਵੇਂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਰਾਏ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ they said ਜਿਨ ਪੈ ਅਦਬ ਨਾ ਬਾਣੀ ਧਾਰਾ ਜਾਨੋ ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਮਾਰਾ। It comes in Surah Prakar ਜਿਨ ਪੈ ਅਦਬ ਪੈ means respect, adab means respect as well, bani dhara who doesn't show respect Gurbani jano so sikh nahi know them that they're not a Sikh of mine। This is these bachan Atar Singh Ji would actually command, they understood it and they said that this is important that Gurbani should be respected। So I've done that Sakhi Hanji। So there's a time in Atar Singh Ji's life where they went to Banaras and they laid the foundation of the Sanskrit University of the Hindu University in Banaras in Kanchi in 1916। They were called by I think ki Madan Mohan da kuch Mohan da kuch ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸੱਦਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ and they called Sant Atar Singh Ji। That was a big thing in that time, a university being made and that made of by the Hindu faith, not the Sikh faith but the Hindu faith। And then they called a lot of people, I think Mahatma Gandhi ਵੀ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਈ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ Sant Atar Singh ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ Sant Atar Singh Ji did was ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਖੰਡ ਪਾਠ ਕੀਤਾ, ਖੰਡ ਪਾਠ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸੰਸਕ੍ਰਿਤ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਨੀਂਹ ਪੱਥਰ ਰੱਖਿਆ। So this is just a ਝਲਕੀ of the day-to-day life, how they get up. So Sant Singh Ji ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਸੌਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, they wouldn't sleep at all, to be fair, but it's written in the book that they'll get up around about 1:30 in the morning, do Ishnan, Naam Abhyas, Panj Baniyan, and then they start. Asa di War was their thing they did every day. There was without fail ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ Sant Atar Singh ਜੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਆਸਾ ਦੀ ਵਾਰ ਤਾਂ ਲਾਉਣੀ ਲਾਉਣੀ, ਉਹ ਵੀ 4 ਵਜੇ ਲਾਉਣੀ ਲਾਉਣੀ। ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ 6-7 ਵਜੇ ਤੇ 10 ਵਜੇ ਵੀ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਉਸ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ, ਅਤੇ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਆਸਾ ਦੀ ਵਾਰ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ 10 ਵਜੇ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹ 4 ਵਜੇ ਆਸਾ ਦੀ ਵਾਰ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਫਿਰ 4 ਵਜੇ ਆਸਾ ਦੀ ਵਾਰ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਤਾਬਿਆ ਸੱਜ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਫਿਰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੰਚਾਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ। wherever they will go there will be an ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੰਚਾਰ। you know how many times a day they would do an ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੰਚਾਰ। ਫਿਰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੰਚਾਰ ਜੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਅਤੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖ will go for a walk, ਟਹਿਲਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਟਹਿਲਦੇ ਵੀ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਭਜਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਫਿਰ ਮਾੜਾ ਮੋਟਾ ਕੋਈ ਛਕ ਲੈਣਾ, ਫਿਰ ਜੋਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ। ਜੋਟੀਆਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਲਾਈਕ one all sing one pankti, the other person will sing one, and you'll sing like that. They'll basically that way it's them, they can remember, people can remember shabads. They'll rest a bit, they will do Ishnan again in the evening. That's a big thing. ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਸ, ਪਰ ਸੰਤ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਰਹਿਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਸੋਦਰ ਰਹਿਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਫਿਰ ਲੰਗਰ ਛਕ ਕੇ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ had any questions ਤਾਂ ask Sant Atar Singh Ji the questions। ਫਿਰ 10 ਵਜੇ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖ ਸੋਹਲਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੀ, ਸੋਹਲਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੇ, they wouldn't speak after ਸੋਹਲਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ। that's a ਹੁਕਮ of ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ। ਅਤੇ ਸੋਹਲਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ 2 ਘੰਟੇ ਸਿਰ 'ਤੇ ਆਰਾਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਆਰਾਮ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਾਖੀ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਸੰਤ ਮੰਜੇ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਠ ਗਏ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਗੜਵਈ ਸਿੰਘ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕਦਮ ਉੱਠ ਗਏ, ਅਤੇ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਡੋਂਟ ਗਿਟ ਅਪ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਏ ਰਹੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਾਨਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਨ whatever we're going to do, you don't need to get up yet, when it's time to do Ishnan we'll wake you up. So Sant Atar Singh would just sit in bandagi all the time. So this is the biggest thing that Sant Atar Singh Ji would say, is that we are not the body. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਹ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਹਾਂ, my name is Amardeep Singh, we think we are the body, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਨਮ ਮਰਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਹ ਆ, we are the body। ਅਤੇ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਵੀ I am not the body। ਇੱਕ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਵੀ ਆ don't attach yourself to a person, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਗੁਰੂ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਆ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਹੀ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਆ। ਆਪਣੇ ਆਤਮਾ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਨਾ, ਆਤਮਾ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਆਤਮਾ is your soul, ਪਰਮ ਆਤਮਾ is ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। We're the drop within the ocean is understanding who you truly are. That's the main thing we are here to do. Do not get attached to this body. Kumbh da Mela, I'm not sure, I don't have my slides, I've got to lift now. Koina, I'll quickly say it. So this shabad, you can read the translation on the Gurbani, I'm not going to go into it now, but Gurbani, so when Kumbh da Mela is happening now, ਪਰ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਥਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਪਤਾ ਇਲਾਹਾਬਾਦ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਗੰਗਾ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, they go to the Ganges and they have ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ। ਉੱਥੇ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਮੈਂ ਸੁਣੀ ਪਤਾ ਖਬਰ ਸੀਗੀ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਡੋਂਟ ਡੂ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ, ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਕਰ ਲਓ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ people like trying to people die because they're trying to get past, and ਲੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ like there's thousands of people that go there, and it just becomes a stampede and people die or whatever, ਹੈ ਨਾ। And ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ the Ganges is so dirty now, ਉੱਥੇ it's not like ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਸਰੋਵਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਅਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ the reason that Sant Atar Singh Ji went was to explain to them that what is their main message, and the main message is trying to say that ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਆ ਇਹੀ ਕਲਿਆਣਕਾਰੀ ਆ, and ਇਹੀ ਪਰਮ ਸਾਧਨ ਆ, and this is what's going to take you to ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। it's understanding ਇੱਕ ਓਂਕਾਰ, ਵੀ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਇੱਕ ਆ, ਵੀ ਵੰਡੀਆਂ ਨਾ ਪਾਓ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ when they went into the mountains, ਸਿੱਧਾ ਨਾਲ ਚਰਚਾ ਹੋਈ, the reason that they went there was to explain to them that the jap that they're doing, the standing upside down, they're not wearing any clothes, they're doing these weird things they're doing, they're not going to help them if they're not remembering WhyGuru all the time. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ, that is the reason we're here, and this is the main message that Sant Atar Singh Ji went to explain to them. And the procession happened, and there's a procession where Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj went, and they still do it till this day, the Nirmala Khada, but it's kind of lost its the meaning to what it should be, you know? And that's why Sant Atar Singh Ji went there. And just a quick, I think this I use this because I think this could help you. Sant Atar ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੰਤ ਬਾਬਾ ਅਮਿਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਕਿਸ਼ਨਪੁਰੇ ਵਾਲੇ, ਜਲੰਧਰ 'ਚ ਕਿਸ਼ਨਪੁਰੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਿੰਡ ਸੀ ਮਲਕਾਣਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਦਮਦਮਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਲਾਗੇ। and they were told to do simran. So they asked, how can we meet WhyGuru? They go, the Sant Atar Singh Ji said, sit in a room, do Murmantar Jap for 12 years, 3,000 times a day. You can do the maths, how many male or how many times you need to do it. And they go that you'll be able to meet WhyGuru. I thought that you could use that if we need, what should we do? It's the same thing, है ना? ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰੀਏ, ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਤੇ ਜਾਪ ਕਰੀਏ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਹੋ ਸਕੇ, and we'll be able to meet WhyGuru. So ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਭ in ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਸਮਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ there was different ਰਿਆਸਤਾਂ, ਹੈ ਨਾ? So there was different kingdoms, and one of the riyasats was Nabha riyasat, and Nabha riyasat was probably the most panthic riyasat out of all the riyasats, because ਜਿਹੜਾ Maharaja Ripudaman Singh sige, they took Amrit from Atar Singh Ji, and they, at that time, the British had infiltrated into Punjab. They took over these small kingdoms, and they were the main centre of everything. But when Maharaja Ripudaman Singh became the king, when their father Maharaja Hira Singh passed away, they didn't call the British, and that was a big thing. The British, it's like the government, and you're not calling the government. And at that time, they said to Atar Singh Ji, "We see Amrit Shakana, thwade to Amrit Shakana." So they took Amrit from Atar Singh Ji. That's Maharaja Singh, Ripudaman Singh in the white in the middle. So Atar Singh Ji sitting down, Maharaja Guru Nanak, Maharaja Prakasha. Standing next to them is Bhai Arjan Singh Ji Bagdiya. And they were very, Bagdiya is a pend in Malerkotla district now. And they were very important in this time. And at that time they did Ardas, and Maharaja Ripudaman Singh took Amrit. And at that time, so Atar Singh Ji, after some time, wanted to make Akal College. So Akal Academies, if you've been to India, Badu Sahib, you've probably heard, and all all of this started from Sant Atar Singh Ji. And they laid the foundation of Akal College, and Maharaja Ripudaman Singh helped in establishing these colleges. And now if you look at India, because it's not like England where we've got schools and education is normal for us. India is very hard, especially in Punjab. You have to pay for your education. ਉੱਥੇ ਫੀਸਾਂ ਭਰਨੀਆਂ ਪੈਂਦੀਆਂ, and ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਮ ਲੋਕ ਸੀਗੇ ਜੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਅਣਪੜ੍ਹਤਾ ਸੀਗੀ, so ਹੌਲੀ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਸਕੂਲ ਖੋਲ੍ਹੇ. ਇੱਕ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, there's normal schools, but they don't have Sikhi in them. Sikh philosophy, Sikhi ਇਤਿਹਾਸ, ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਉਂਦੇ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉੱਥੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਤੇ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ Sant Atar Singh ਜੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ, they wanted that ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਕਰਨਗੇ, ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਜੁੜਨਗੇ, ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨਗੇ. And Sant Teja Singh Ji was given the seva because they themselves double MA, so they went to Harvard University, Tivingaland, which we ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ university ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, so they were very learned themselves, and they were given the seva. And then there's a famous story of King George V, when Sant Atar Singh Ji went, were invited. So they weren't, even like Sant Atar Singh Ji, they were invited to go to the coronation of King George V. And when they got there, the day before the coronation, Sant Atar Singh Ji said, "We're going to Maharaja Bhupinder Singh of Patiala." They were in charge of a thing where they took, there was like a Nagar Kirtan type of thing, where they procession, and they took on a hathi, they had Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Prakash. Sant Atar Singh Ji sat behind, as you can see. They asked Sant Atar Singh Ji to do Chaur Sahib di seva, but Sant Atar Singh Ji got asita Panth di seva vich, and then Nihang Singh then went into Chaur Sahib, and they went and proceeded all the way to where King George, they went from, I think, Delhi Gurdwara Sahib, Sikh Sahib, all the way to where the coronation was Lal Kila. And at that time, Sant Atar Singh Ji was singing these Dharana Gurbani, पैज रखी करतारे जानकी पैज रखी. So they were singing पैज रखी करतारे जानकी पैज. I'm going to sing it, but yeah. Godi Mahalla Panjwa Thirkar Besto Harjan Pyare Satgur Tumre Ka Sawari. So this is a Gurbani Pankti that singing the Tarna of, and they got everybody singing behind them. Is a big tune that happened, and सारे गज गज के गाਉਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ. फिर ਉੱਥੇ जो लागे पहुंचे ਜਦੋਂ जो ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਖੜੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਫਿਰ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੜਿਆ ਬਿਲਾਵਲੀਆ ਗੋ ਹਰ ਸਮਾਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਾਜਾ. ਇਹ ਭੂਪਤ ਸਭ ਦਿਵਸ ਚਾਰ ਕੇ ਝੂਠੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਦਿਵਾਜਾ ਤੇ ਉਂਗਲੀ ਕਰਕੇ pointing to King George and all the kings ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਝੂਠੇ ਕਰਤ ਦਿਵਾਜਾ ਇਹ ਭੂਪਤ ਸਭ ਦਿਵਸ ਚਾਰ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਭੂਪਤ ਮਤਲਬ ਰਾਜੇ ਇਹ ਦਿਵਸ ਚਾਰ ਦਿਵਸ mean days ਚਾਰ mean 4 ਦਿਨ ਦੇ ਆ they're only here for 4 days ਝੂਠੇ ਕਰਤ ਦਿਵਾਜਾ and they give false promises because they can't give you Brahm Gyan, they can't meet you with WhyGuru ਤਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਆ the whole point of a king is ਪ੍ਰਜਾ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਉਹ ਸੁੱਖ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਾਜੇ ਦਾ ਧਰਮ ਇਹੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰਜਾ ਜੋ ਪ੍ਰਜਾ ਆ the kingdom the people in the kingdom is to give them happiness ਜੋ ਵੀ ਸਹੂਲਤਾਂ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਦਾਨ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਇਹੀ ਰਾਜੇ ਦਾ ਅਸਲ ਧਰਮ ਆ ਪਰ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਦੇਖੀਏ this is not what's happened ਹੈ ਨਾ and Sant Atar Singh Ji is pointing that out ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਪਤਾ and we know that it got annexed and British left with breaking our Punjab and wherever else Sant Maharaj ji ne they sang another shabad ਕਲਗੀਆਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਹੱਥ ਹੀ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਲਗੀਆਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਦੇ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਨਿਤ ਨਵੀਆਂ ਸੋ ਕਲਗੀਆਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਦੇ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਨਿਤ ਨਵੀਆਂ ਨਿਤ means every day ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ means happiness ਵੀ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਕੀ ਦੇਣੇ ਆ ਇਹ ਕਲਗੀਆਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਦੇ ਦਰਬਾਰ 'ਚ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਆ ਅੰਦ ਮਾਰ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ ਆਸਾ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਚੌਥਾ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖਾ ਮਨ ਵਾਧਾਈਆਂ ਜਿਨ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਡਿੱਠਾ ਰਾਮ ਰਾਜੇ ਇਹ ਆਸਾ ਦੀ ਵਾਰ 'ਚੋਂ ਆ ਅੰਦ ਕਹੋ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਤਾਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ and this is when they went to ਉੱਥੇ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਚਲੋ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੰਥ ਦੀ ਤਰੱਕੀ so the main I'm gonna ਠੀਕ ਹੈ so ਪੰਥ ਦੀ ਤਰੱਕੀ so the main thing we should take away from Sant Atar Singh Ji's life is the ਸਿੱਖਿਆ that they gave us get up ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜੋ Sant Atar Singh Ji wanted that ਇੱਕ ਖਜ਼ਾਨਾ there should be one ਖਜ਼ਾਨਾ everybody puts their doswand in and there will be no appeal ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਵੀ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਲਈ ਇੱਥੇ ਖੜੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਅਪੀਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ Sant Atar Singh Ji was against it ਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਅਪੀਲ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਮਾਇਆ ਦੀ ਅਪੀਲ ਕਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ you should only have ਜੇ ਅਪੀਲ ਆ they should have ਅਰਦਾਸੀਆ ਸਿੰਘ sit down ਜੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਆਵੇ ਉਹ ਤਿਲਫੁਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਬਸ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਖੜ ਕੇ ਅਰਦਾਸਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਅਪੀਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ Sant Atar Singh Ji wanted just one khajana one big pot where everybody can come and if there's ਲੋੜਵੰਦ anybody needs any money they take from that pot everybody we could become Amritari we recite in WhyGuru's Naam and know Gurmukhi Gurmukhi is important whoever hasn't learned Gurmukhi do start Guru de akhar this is every akhar uda eda edi if you learn Gurmukhi you can have a relationship with your Guru because it's a straight relationship with you and your Guru then if you're reading or you're listening to people or you're using then you wait you're using somebody else's interpretation and then you cannot make your own interpretation we're not everybody Maharaj will give us the buddhi to understand but we should do the uddam as well yes chalo agge chalo and then okay so there's a Guru Sikh that asked about how many times should you do simran and Mahapurkha ne kiha 10,000 wari naam japo in a day so if you look at the goal that in 1.5 minutes you should be able to do one mala of WhyGuru so mala is usually 108 beads if you do WhyGuru it should take you a minute and a half chalo ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ 2 ਮਿੰਟ ਲਾ ਲਓ and then if you do 1,000 in 15 minutes you should be 10,000 in 3 hours so that's how many times you should be doing simran a day that's what Sant Atar Singh Ji said if you want to meet WhyGuru at least it is chalo koi कितने स्लाइड है देखिए ही नहीं okay we've done that one I'm gonna koi na we'll start with this Sakhi ठीक है अपनी लेना okay so the last Sakhi I'm going to tell is a Sakhi of it's more about what we live in the Kaljug we live in this especially in this country and one day Sant Atar Singh was walking I think this is koi shair siga, and the British had come into England at that time, and Sant Atar Singh was dark, and Sant Atar Singh was a Gurdwara Singh, and Sant Atar Singh was walking, and some person came in front, and Sant Atar Singh said, "Kaun hai?" The Gurdwara Singh कहता कोई मेम है, और मेम का मतलब है like a lady. Mem, but the word mem doesn't just mean a lady. It means more so like a gori. It was a British lady, and she wasn't wearing a very appropriate clothing. So Atar Singh ji go chalo chalo, itho chalo sheti sheti chalo, itho nahi asi ithe nahi rehna. And so Atar Singh ji walked away, and then they said that Aurangzeb bhi itho changa siga. Aurangzeb ta changa si, pi ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਧਰਮ ਸੀ, ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਸੀ. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਅਧਰਮੀ ਆ. ਅਧਰਮੀ means ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ they don't have any ਧਰਮ, they don't have any right. The word ਧਰਮ means righteous actions, and this person, that person that was walking, this person doesn't have actual righteous actions. They don't know what's right and wrong. They don't know that there's a code of conduct, there's a way to live, there's a way to dress, there's a way to speak, there's a way to sit, there's a way of everything, especially in Sikhi. They go that ਧਰਮ ਹੀ ਮੁੱਖਿਆ. ਧਰਮ, religion is important. And that's when I'm going to stop on that thought. And this is a big thing that Sant Atar Singh ji was about. ਧਰਮ ਨੂੰ ਮੁੱਖ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਸਿਮਰਨ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਨਾ, ਉੱਠ ਕੇ 5 ਮਿੰਟ 10 ਮਿੰਟ 15 ਕਰਦੇ you want to get to a point where you're doing simran at least 3 hours a day. Nitnem karna, and then try to do good actions all day. This is the main things you can take away. This is what Guru Nanak Dev Ji told us. But it drid karna vaste Sant Atar Singh Ji came because dharm was going away, and because of Sant Atar Singh Ji, the amount of the population went up, and now we have the Sikhi, the spirit of Sikhi flourished. There was other sakya I had, but I'm not going to go into it because of the timings. Sant Atar Singh Ji Maharaj went to Sachkhand because you can see on their foot. There is something, they were sitting on tabya. They were sitting on tabya. There's something, some people say it was a snake that bit them. Some people say they're not sure what happened, but what happened is something bit them. After a bit, they never realised, and when they realised, people started treatment. So Atar Singh Ji said, "Chalo theek hai, jo bhi karna kar lo." People tried, there were many wares that came, and they tried, and they were getting better, but people irkha karke, they stopped the treatment and all sorts. And so Atar Singh Ji said, "Chalo chhad pare, jana ta hega hi a." This was the bahana. ਫਿਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਸੰਗਰੂਰ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ. ਇਸ ਸੰਗਰੂਰ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ in the town of Sangrur, this is the Gurdwara Sahib now, that's ਇੱਕ ਘਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ. ਇਸ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੰਤਾਂ ਨੇ they closed the door, and then 19 ਮਾਘ ਨੂੰ 19 ਮਾਘ ਕਦੋਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੁਣ? Is it one of the days now? Is it this weekend, I think? ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕੁਛ ਹੀ ਆ, but it's Friday, I think, next week. ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕੁਛ ਆ. They left their Sarir, and it was on 1st of February 1927. So in the month of Magh, you have other Gurmukhs like Sant Atar Singh Ji, Redu Sahib wale, ਜਿਹੜੇ Rada Sahib, Sant Isha Singh Ji the Guru sige, ਜਿਹੜੇ Vidya Guru sige. You've got Sant Bishan Singh Ji, their birthday was on Monday. Sant Sundar Singh Ji's birthday is coming up in a week or two time. You've got Sant Karam Singh Ji Hoti Mardan. Many Gur Sikhs in that time have passed away in the month of Magh. Magh is seen, Magh Majjan Sang Sadhua Udi Kar Ishnan. That in the month of Magh, Magh Majjan Sang Sadhua, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਧੂ ਨੇ do Ishnan in their Tudi, in their Charan, take the dust of the sants. So it's really good that you've come together to understand and listen to the stories of Sant Atar Singh Ji. I didn't have enough time to speak about Sant Atar Singh Ji. There's so much to go into detail about Sant Atar Singh Ji, but kinka matal, like a bond goes into the water, we can take something from this, and hopefully we can implement it in our life. Sorry if I've said something that's inappropriate, or that's upset you. That was not my that's not what I wanted. Thank you for listening attentively. WhyGuru Ji Ka Khalsa, WhyGuru Ji Ki